Well, the question asked was, how do I select my colors for a painting, or how do I approach a project? Well, every single one of my paintings has one of these worksheets, and it's incredibly important that you use the paper that you have selected to paint on. Some of them are kind of scruffy, like this. Some of them are a little bit neater, but they're all labeled. Here's one I did just on every black I own in every brand to see what I wanted to use and how they reacted. Sometimes I blend them with Gamsol, and other times I just leave them as they are. Here's another one where I'm using different pinks, and that was for this rose that you see here. And I was trying to get warm colors. And so I tried Lyra, Pablo, this is Derwent Lightfast, some scruffy things on the back. But anyway, what I wanted to show you particularly, and here's another one where I tried different yellows, and I will usually try a range of yellows in values because I do lay my colors side by side rather than over the top of each other to get pure color. So okay, do I want this for my light? Do I want to go to my dark? You can see here I went out of the color family, so I probably didn't use that one. And here's some more of the Prismas on black. I do a lot of painting on black, but I want to show you something particularly because when I went to do the pink rose, that's this pink rose, I used every pink in every brand that I owned. I actually ended up using neon pink at one point, and if you have that in your collection, you know, the whole tin, then you'll see that that's really a hunking red. And I still couldn't get the temperature that I wanted, and I'll show you why. White and black papers are both cool. When you add black to a painting, to paint in any medium, acrylics, oils, whatever, Genesis, even pencils, it both darkens and it dulls. Well, that's what was happening to the pinks. That's a different color, different painting. That was what was happening to the pinks on this. And because I do a lot of this, my husband is wonderful enough to let me have this enormous drafting board in our living room, right behind the sofa, so I can sit and paint while I watch TV with him. But, so I do this, you know, I'm not sitting down and doing this for hours on end. I'm kind of doing a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit whatever. But it's all a learning process. And I wanted to particularly show you, I know I've got a piece of white paper here somewhere. This is, let me zoom in on these because it's kind of important. Okay, this is blush pink on white. It is still cool. White and black are both cool in temperature. This is blush pink on black. Can you see how the black paper has completely robbed the color from it? And this is blush pink on craft. I've got the temperature that I want. It's got good coverage. The value and the temperature of the paper totally influences the end result of your painting. That's why it's so important to do all of this research first. So this is how I approach every painting. You're better off to print one color print, because every device that you look at a painting on or a photograph on is going to be a different color. So you have one print, and that's what you use for your master color selections. Here's another one where you can see I've done the value ranges to see where I wanted to go in the colors, starting with the lightest and going into the darkest, starting with the lightest and going into the darkest. Here's, I've zoomed in so you can't see it, here's a test of all my French grays on black. You must do it on the paper that you want to work on. When I do my comparisons for to change from Prismas to Faber-Castell, I do custom swatches on the paper itself, and I slide them up and down until I get the right color and the right value. Can you see here? Now here, this isn't going to work. We come down here, we have to slide down a little bit. This is more, these two are more compatible. So while I have all of the comparison charts, it doesn't mean that I use them, because those comparison charts are done on white. Karen Hull also does a comparison on black as well. But you can't, if you're using a different color paper, be it craft or fawn or green or burgundy or whatever, you must do your color swatches like this. It's the only way you're going to get a comparison. So if you change the paper from, say, Me-Tints Ivy to Me-Tints Light Green, your values are going to be different, and that's where your samples come in handy. So you would do all of your samples and you think, oh, this color is going to be, it's both wrong in value and temperature. So then you would play around on your scrap of paper until you got a value that worked for you on that particular painting. I never ever throw a scrap of paper out, no matter how small it is. I have a drawer full of little scraps of, I think, every color paper that I have ever used. It saves you a lot of time and energy. So then, how do you select? Well, what I usually do, and I did this specially for you, is if you're not sure, what you can do is just punch a hole in the paper. And then you can take your pencil and just scrub it on either side of the hole. And that's how you can get some of the colors. I actually, as you can see, I just go like this, and I just, sometimes I go to the end, sometimes I don't. But I can pretty well gauge what's going to work or not. But I wanted to show you the difference in paper and how it affects temperature. Okay. Now this is done on the craft. This rose over here was done on craft. This is done on white, as you can see. Now there is a definite temperature change between this one and this one, and yet they're both using blush pink. That's how much your color choice of paper makes to a painting. So hopefully I've given you a little bit of an idea of how to approach. Start with your color print, start with your scrap of paper, pick up any color that you want. You don't have to stay with one brand. I do for teaching, but you can kind of play around with any color or any pink or any red or any green that you like. Just make sure that it is compatible on your piece of paper. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it's helped you a little bit, and we'll delve some more into this tomorrow.